Speaking of coaches,
Slow pitch softball.
Stuart Mandel has his top 25 coaches in college football. He had his rankings last year that came out, and some eyebrows were raised about where some coaches were on that particular list. Particularly, I think the guy that he had at number 2, Kansas head coach Lance Leipold. He has a little mea culpa on that one. But the big jump, and it comes as no surprise.
Lance Leipold?
Yeah.
Why would he have take backsies on that one?
He had him up at number 2.
Yeah, I think Mike Norvell may be the one he has a big take back on.
That one, that's the other one he had the big take back on. Whoop.
Yikes.
He did not make the top 25 this year.
Last year, Mike Norvell, Florida State head coach, was number 4. He is currently not in the top 25.
Yikes, dog.
And Lance Leipold was at 2, and now he's at 7.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think what he's doing at Kansas is really damn
Pretty
good.
damn impressive.
Number 2, maybe a little bit aggressive.
A little spicy.
Maybe a bit aggressive. Still being in the top 10. Good call, Stu.
Good place to be. Number 1, no change there. Kirby Smart, Georgia. I don't think you can fight against that.
Kirby Smart, he's got rings. He has continued to recruit at an incredibly high level, develop talent insanely well. He is a force of nature in the world of college football.
Number 2, Ryan Day, jumping up from number 7 to number 2. You won a national title. You were on that list.
See, recruiting, finances, developing talent.
Number 3 was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Steve Sarkisian, Texas, going from number 13 to number 3.
Yeah.
I'm not pushing it back against it that hard because Texas is back.
They are.
Texas is back.
They are. They've defeated their greatest rival being back.
Themselves.
They are officially back. And this is, you had a loaded team last year. You have another loaded team this year. They deserve to be there. And they're not going to slow down, man. That Texas team is going to be really damn good.
Beyond that, this is where I start to go, that's interesting. Number 4, Kalen DeBoer at Alabama, falling from number 3 to number 4.
Kalen DeBoer is still a really good coach.
He is.
I mean, you take over for a legend.
The legend.
And you just barely miss a college football playoff. And they had a lot of defections.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything people said about Kalen DeBoer is, all right, well, he can't hold on to the top tier talent. He's just changing things at Alabama, and his own fan base turned on him for a little bit this year. That has changed. They said he couldn't recruit at a high level. They are recruiting at a high level. They are recruiting at Alabama levels with Kalen DeBoer. That is something that is not going away. Now that he has Ryan Grubb back with him as his offensive coordinator, which they were together at Washington. He was with the Seahawks last year, gets fired in Seattle, and now goes down to Alabama. Their offense is going to be humming. And they have this guy, I don't know, Ryan Williams, who's going to be 18 years old. He's going to be really stinking good.
My pushback will be with the guy after Lanning. I think the guy after Lanning and DeBoer should swap.
Yeah,
but
Dan Lanning at number 5.
Dan Lanning at number 5. He makes a massive jump going from number 25 to number 5. Mm-hmm. In 3 seasons at U of O, 35-6, improving each year from over the last 3 years, from 12-2 to now 13-1 last year, winning the Big Ten in their first year in the Big Ten, going to the college football playoff. Now the Ohio State game notwithstanding. Mm-hmm. Tough place to be. The game that you lost, though, you lost to the national champion Buckeyes.
Who steamrolled everyone.
Yeah.
And that was that game isn't what anybody thought it would look like. And sometimes games get away from you like that. That was a horrible spot for it to be. The people that continue to be like, what has he ever won? Come on.
Now literally everything except for the national title.
He beat Ohio State in the regular season, won the Big Ten championship in the first year. He has had 3 losses in year 1, 2 losses in year 2, 1 loss in year 3.
35-6. I'm telling you right now, USC guy, I take it.
Is a really damn good coach.
Yes. Number 6 is Dabo. Yeah. And this is a bit of a surprise to me because you look at the list and you talk about who on this list has won a natty.
Yep.
Why is Dabo trailing Lanning, DeBoer, Sarkisian?
Because that is a refusal of Dabo Swinney for years to adapt to the modern world of college football. And there were legitimate questions on, can Dabo Swinney adapt to the new age of college football? He did not use the transfer portal at all. He's starting to do that now. He knows he needs to do it. He was reluctant on NIL. He knows he has to do it now. He is slowly changing, but where guys should be criticized is when they do not change. And Dabo was at number 8 last year because he did not change, and he had this reluctancy to do so. As he is doing it, you still see he's a really good football coach. Went to the college football playoff this last year. Okay. He is a guy that can still motivate, coach, and his guys get to the dance, right? And getting there is half the battle. He also has rings. He's done it before. Okay. Dabo at number 6, I actually get because then I go, all right, well, then who the hell are you going to put in front of him? Who are you going to put in front of him? Or
Behind him.
Well, no, that is behind him.
Well, yeah.
Right? There isn't. Are you going to put Lance Leupold? Are you going to put James Franklin, who his big thing is he cannot win the games that matter? You know, like that's the thing with James Franklin.
And Franklin is at 8.
Are you going to put Matt? He has Matt Campbell at 9 and Marcus Freeman at 10, right? One thing that none of those guys have is rings, right?
Yeah.
They have their warts as well. Like Dabo at 6, it makes sense, man. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Again, I think I would swap him and Kalen.
Kalen DeBoer, you'd put him at 4?
I put him at 4.
Yeah.
You have the ring. And it's not like it's that long ago.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that are like, oh, no, too high. Dude, he's done an incredible job.
Look at his career resume, and you can talk about Clemson and playing the ACC and all that. It's like the ring matters.
Yep.
It matters. You mentioned Franklin at 8. Freeman at 10 was a bit surprising. I mean,
Marcus Freeman.
He took Notre Dame to a national title game.
Yeah. He is an incredible coach. And if you're going to slide Lance Leupold down, that would be the guy I would do it for.
Yes, 100%.
And in a Notre Dame that was injured and had limitations at quarterback.
In this top 25, there are 7 coaches that were not ranked last year. Following Freeman is Cignetti at Indiana.
Google me.
Which I think he's done everything you can do at Indiana and be kind of impressed. One of the kind of big fallers from the big programs, Brian Kelly going from 6 to 12. Lane Kiffin slots in at 13. He was 11. That seems like the range, right? Really good coach. Hasn't found a way to rise to the very top in the SEC.
Yeah.
In the same way that Heupel at Tennessee has done the same thing, been really good, but can't quite get over that last little hurdle. The one that I think I take a little bit of guff with is Whittingham going from 5 to 14. Now, I know he had the rough year at Utah, but he also had injuries beyond injuries beyond injuries.
At some point, you got to go, though, when is this not going to be the story of Utah football?
Yeah.
And an inability to find a quarterback not named Cam Rising.
True. It's fair.
Is a big issue for the Utes. And I'm with you. I still think Kyle Whittingham is one of the best coaches in all of college football.
How many programs in the country would you take Kyle Whittingham as a coach over? It's not 13.
No, it isn't. He deserves to be a little bit higher, but results, and that's it.
Sure, it matters. There's a couple others in here that I found a little surprising. Jeff Monken getting some love at Army.
Hey.
Kalani Sitake at BYU. They come in at 20 and 21. Rhett Lashley at 22.
SMU.
Number 24, I think, is going to surprise a lot of people. Jonathan Smith at number 24.
Yep.
Despite going 5 and 7 at Michigan State, he is still getting the love and respect of the national coverage.
He should, because Jonathan Smith is a really damn good coach. And you want to talk about a program in a bad way? He took over a Michigan State program that it was not in a good spot. And it's the thing about Michigan State is their fans don't understand kind of the way that Jonathan Smith operates. Last year was never going to be their year. Never was. Next year will not be their year. The following year will be, because he will have his hooks into guys for 3 years, and he will squeeze every ounce of talent out of them. That's what Jonathan Smith does. You started seeing it at the end of last season. I'm not wavering on Jonathan Smith. I think he's a phenomenal coach.